All right, everybody, it's time for another amazing and tasty episode of Survival of the Fittest is the soup du jour. I'm Chef Roberto Trevino, and today I am broadcasting live from my house in Lake Nona, which I absolutely love. It was a beautiful day here in Florida. Can you believe that in just a few days, we are going to be in the very absolute middle of 2021, going into the last 6 months of 2021. Who knew that it would fly like this? But it has. It's been a good year so far. I mean, it's definitely been an upswing year. So definitely I'm riding that wave and enjoying. Feel free to go onto our Patreon. For $5, you can help this digital creator, yours truly, Salt and Pepper himself. $5 gets you in, and we share all kinds of like private, not like OnlyFans, but like Patreon. We send out recipes. We share insight. Sometimes I think chefs and restaurateurs and different people just need a little inspiration, and I think that's where we can really have more of that level of communication with our listeners. And so we always invite people to go onto our Patreon site. We are also, follow me on Spotify. Spotify is great. We go to my YouTube channel, give us a thumbs up, give us just send us some love, everybody, because we're here and we're willing to do this for everybody. And you can find us on Apple Music as well. Remember, this is Survival of the Fittest is the soup to go on the run, always with you, all right? So enough said about all that. Now, I was thinking about several things, and obviously this is kind of a touchy subject. So if you're ready, we'll begin. Recently, I read about some prison inmates that have hibachis set up in their cells. Now, the kitchen is an inspiring place. Now, I'm not, obviously, we don't want to go to jail. Nobody likes that. Nobody likes to be incarcerated at any level. So stay the hell out of jail. But that they are in there and using hibachis in their cells is just wild to me. Now, I've heard many different things. I've heard that like the cooks in jail, and I've never been there, so thank God. I've cooked a lot, but I've never been in the big house. House of the Rising Sun is not for me. But I think, the cook has always held a really high position amongst the inmates because he has access to yeast and fruit and different things that you can make alcohol and sort of like prison brew, to get drunk. So the please, you just see these guys in the studio. I mean, good Lord. All right. They're saying like, really, dude, is this what you're going to talk about? But you know what? I find it fascinating because it's just like, it just goes to show you where people can, cook, where food becomes and wine becomes sort of life. And, I've often thought about a jail cookbook, for example, like you'll hear of inmates taking platenutres, where are like little, like if you were to make plantain chips, but like potato chips in little bags, and they mash them up and they literally make mofongo with adding water and different chicken soup and different things to it. And they make mofongo with platanutres, and it gets bucks or lots of cigarettes. I don't really know how many smokes a mofongo could be worth, but I've seen in some parts of Santurce, some go for about 2 smokes. So I can only imagine in jail it's got to be at least 6 or 7 smokes for a good mofongo. But I've also heard of taking different like jams and different things and making birthday cakes and all kinds of craziest things. So maybe you can help me like make that decision to possibly find somehow to put together the jail cookbook. Maybe we'll get some recipes from some notorious inmates. All right, enough said about jail. It's not the nicest place in the world, but I found it to be kind of fascinating that People are always willing to cook and are willing to, their palates are looking for elevated flavors. You know, you get lunch and dinner and breakfast that works, but something elevated and something extra. So definitely looking for the chefs out there. And, you know, if you are in jail listening to our podcast, well, here's to you. Make sure you send us a recipe. We'd like to hear what you have to say. All right, everybody. Good news. Good news is that we are definitely in the summer. I've noticed there was like this thunderbolt business happening, you know, and then July came around and a lot of people went on vacation, and I just feel like the city's a little mellow right now, which is kind of nice. It's nice to kind of breathe a little bit because we've been pushing hard. I mean, the restaurants have been cranking here in town, and I think that this is kind of a nice little break. People are taking vacation. It kind of means we can breathe a little bit. But I don't see it going down. I see it getting better and better, and I would really recommend that anyone out there like who's ready to open something, this is the time you need to start doing your mise en place, your prep to be ready to open your business, you know, come the holidays when, you know, people are out spending and they're looking for that special evening and what have you. You know, this is the time to start planning that food truck, start planning your catering business, start planning your menus, and getting your restaurant in your restaurant ducks in a row so that when it comes time for you to do it, I think it's a good time. I think that the restaurant business is going to really thrive again. I mean, I'm not telling the future here, by no means. Please don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not saying that there always runs the possibility of things not going as well as we want and need them to be, but I have a feeling we're okay. So this is the time to do it. And I really have to congratulate all the fellow chef and restaurateur who are out there surviving and pulling through some rough times in the restaurant business, but the good times are coming. So you've done it, you've held on, and you're about to really just kind of reap the benefits of all that hard work. And yes, we all know that it is indeed hard work. I mean, can anything be harder than running a restaurant? I mean, it's 24/7. And sometimes I say to myself, you know, when I owned a bunch of restaurants, it was great. You know, it was fun. It was good to be the owner. It's no doubt. You know, there's something about that that's very chic and very, very hot, but it's tough. And sometimes not being the owner, after being the owner, you say to yourself, like, you know what? This is kind of what I like. You know, I got into the business because I absolutely loved to cook. And you know, that's where I need to stay. That's where I need to think about. Now, who knows? I mean, in the future, I may decide to open a restaurant again. But I enjoy opening restaurants for other people right now. And so far, so good. And so far, I feel fulfilled professionally as a chef because I'm allowed to do my thing. I mean, we've gotten a lot of attention at Tapa Toro lately. I think people are noticing that, yeah, it's been around for 6 years, but it got another 6 years coming, you know, because it's that good. And it's that exciting of a location with, you know, the 7 days a week, the flamenco dancers and the food. And I would have to say my staff, you know, the staff is exciting. The waiter, the you know, the front of the house staff they're cool people. They're energetic. They're handsome, good-looking people. So that's always nice. And then in the kitchen, I feel like we have turned, you know, we've kind of turned the corner where we're really starting to see the talent that these cooks have. And, you know, nothing probably drives me more and makes me more happy than to sort of inspire people to do amazing things with their professions, you know, and, you know, to see a cook that was possibly marginalized somewhat and just sort of like, yeah, he's here, he showed up, I mean, he's there, yeah, he works this station or that station, to then become like the rock star cook of the kitchen, you know, the guy who's like, or the cook who's just killing it, you know, plating beyond belief, showing, you know, an expertise, a level of experience that I don't think he knew he had. That to me is what really kind of like makes this such an amazing profession. And, I really, as a young chef, I was that guy who wanted all the attention, wanted the light, wanted to be the chef. I'm the chef, I'm the chef, I'm the chef, I'm the chef. God damn it, I'm the chef. But now I really like to discover the talent and kind of say, like, this is what's up. This is who's coming up. This is the real talent. This is the next step in the culinary movement. And I'm always got my eyes out for that. And I'm not talking about like, oh, I go to Cincinnati to find the best new cook. No, I'm not that at all. I'm talking about who I can personally like inspire or can really share my experience so that they can really kind of just move forward at light speed. And that's what I'm looking for. And I believe that my future holds something very similar for me like that, where I will, be able to place chefs in some amazing positions and coach them in this amazing position so they don't make the same mistakes I made. And give them, with just the opportunities I see in the future, spaces to do what they do and coach them so that they do it well and kind of just pull it off. And there's nothing more fulfilling in life than pulling it off. When, you open a restaurant and staff shows up, they train, as much as you could possibly train them before actual heat, before the actual night of business. And then it all comes together. And people love your food, and your food is amazing, and your staff is inspired, and and the money's coming in, because the money's important. I mean, it's you can say it's the reason why I do this, man. I don't agree. I think you do it and you make the money, and when you do it well, you make even more money. And making money is the lifeblood of the restaurant. Yeah, the inspiration. Yeah, the food. Yeah, the wait staff. You have to make the money to keep it all floating. It's, the vessel is the vessel, but without any kind of wind, the sailboat doesn't move, and without any gas, the car doesn't start. So you need that money, and you need to understand that people don't part with their money just because. A lot of people do, but most don't. And you really have to work hard to give people that play, that enough of a feeling to say, like, I'm willing to spend my money and enjoy your exciting vision. And I'm out of breath. But the other good news I have is I have Orlando Brewing in the house. I'm about to give myself a big sip of this, by the way. You can find them sometimes at Deezerland, where they are actually giving beer away. They give it away free. And I think it's because Orlando Brewery just wants to be out there. They want people to taste their beer because they're that good. Remember, or the first organic brewery in America, or the oldest. And, that's official, okay? Go ahead and run with it. And, but it's great beer. And I got to always tip my hat to John, because he really just wants to, like good chefs want to put food in as many people as they can. John wants his beer in as many people as he can. So he, at Deezerland, sometimes they're giving away. Look for Ricardo. He'll be there always kind of just selling the product as far as the image of the whole thing. And why not? It's great beer. So thank you to Orlando Brewing. They're in the house, and here we go. Nothing better. Well, I've gone on and on and on. What's exciting for me, and with because we are in July, and like I said, this year's flying by. I mean, August, September, October, and it's the holidays again. Halloween. It's really all just around the corner. And nothing. I'm just so ready for 2022, and I didn't ever think I would say that, because I remember in 2020 we were all just kind of saying, hey, there's Cappy making his appearance. We were all saying oh, I can't wait for 2020 to be over. And then 2021 came around, and it was all like, okay, we'll see what happens. Everybody was walking on thin ice. Everybody wasn't sure. And now we were going full steam ahead. And I'm just ready for 2022. And I think 2022 is just going to be that year. And it's going to be wild. There's no doubt. We see the political, the whole political, just the environment, the political environment around the world, is heated. It's touchy. Money is interesting. The cryptocurrency movement is huge and making just changing how people make money now, and wealth, shifts, and it's a great time. It's interesting, and we're witnessing it and we're part of it. But 2022 seems like it's going to be one of those years where you can catch that star. You can get the ring, And, truth of the matter is it's a great time. So I always say, do your best work, no matter what it is, And if you're lucky enough to be a chef, or lucky enough to own a restaurant, damn, do your best work. You really don't have a choice. People expect it. Your staff needs it. And more than anything, don't find yourself in a situation where you just didn't do your best work and you lost your restaurant or you lost your job because you just didn't do your best work. That's not where you want to be. So get out there and do your best work. Be an amazing human being, because this world really needs us. And I'm including myself there and hoping I can be in on that. But the truth is, the world really needs more amazing people. So do your best to be absolutely amazing so that this world can do better. And you will see the benefits of that angle. So ladies and gentlemen, that's what I say here. Broadcasting from Lake Nona in the beautiful and wonderful state of Florida. I'd like to say hello to all my friends in New York, Texas, California, Mexico, and Puerto Rico. So everybody, I'll see you soon. Keep on keeping on. This is Survival of the Fittest. It's the soup du jour. I'm Chef Roberto Treviño, and I love you. Take care, everybody.